And I'm falling through the wicked realms of time, and I'm calling on the memories and the past, and I'm breathing the air of unknown every day.
Well, my name is Steve Cowan, and I'm a biohacker. Since the beginning of 2020, the world has been in an uproar. COVID-19 and our health is on everyone's mind. Some people just close their eyes and ignore the science and sit firmly in denial. Some are scared and get lost in the chaos, while others are waiting for a vaccine to save us from the latest nightmare and maybe even the next one on the horizon. I'm just looking for more natural alternative solutions, not just band-aids. One thing we all have in common is a new viewpoint about our health and future, a COVID-19 viewpoint. We are no longer satisfied with treating our symptoms. We want to know why we are getting sick, why our bodies are slowly failing, why are we in pain or discomfort, why are we so tired, how to live longer yet have a productive, pain-free, fulfilled life so we can spend more time with those we love. It's a new viewpoint, a COVID-19 viewpoint. For me, this new viewpoint started back in 2013 when I became a biohacker. Biohacker? Well, let me first take you back to 2006. My wife Penny and I flew from Canada to Dubai for a friend's wedding. It was a 5-star fairy tale wedding that went on for days. After the wedding, the festivities continued with many gatherings, boat cruises, camel rides in the desert, and more. My friend Arfine and his new bride Sarah really know how to treat their guests. One day, we went out riding on dune buggies in the desert, sailing off the end of dunes like daredevils. That afternoon, we also tried sand surfing down the dunes. It's like a slow version of snowboarding, but on hot, heavy sand dunes. I boarded to the bottom of the dunes and then began the grueling task of walking back up the deep sand at the top. Halfway up, I suddenly found I could not breathe. It felt like my lungs stuck together. It scared me to death. I thought it was over for me. The panic finally subsided, and I made it to the waiting vehicles at the top. A few days later, we returned to Canada. Many tests and a lung biopsy later, I was diagnosed with a lung disease with no cause and no cure: sarcoidosis. My lungs had already developed scar tissue and severely reduced air capacity. I was told I would not likely live another 10 years. My world blew up. For the next 7 years, it was all about treating the symptoms with nasty drugs like prednisone, trying to stay out of the hospital and not get pneumonia every year. That did not go very well. During that time, I fell deep into depression. I hid in a back room at our house and played adventure video games for hours each day. In this virtual fantasy world, I could breathe, I could do anything, I could be a hero. In the real world, I could not even take out the garbage or tie my shoes without getting out of breath. I felt like a failure. So time went on. I ignored my business, my friends, my wife Penny, my kids, and even my grandchildren. I lost my passion for life and adventure. I lost hope. As a man, I felt useless. I basically quit life and waited to die. Sarcoidosis, no cause, no cure. I'm done. By 2013, I was dead broke and my life was a real mess. Mortgage in arrears, savings gone, my world was crashing. But a new viewpoint arrived, just in time. Maybe not unlike the new COVID viewpoint for many of you now. It did not arrive with a big bang. No angels delivered me a glorious message. I just slowly found myself looking at life differently. I had decided to suspend my disbelief long enough to allow something new to appear possible. This new viewpoint would eventually save my life. It really started when my friend Michael sent me a clip from the TV show ABC Primetime, an investigative journal report from 2005. He was worried about me, but of course, at first I did not watch it. Eventually I did. I love logic. I respect science. This had both. A simple, natural concept. Biohacking my life. This was the start of a journey. I started looking for more answers. To me, biohacking is a technique that focuses on helping our bodies to function better, using natural solutions. This could be as simple as a diet, better sleep, supplements, chiropractic, even using affirmations. Whatever triggers my body to work better. And my body was failing fast. I needed to make a change. So logically, the part of biohacking that got my biggest attention was the ability to trigger my body's systems to work more efficiently and to activate some systems that were not working at all. Well, I knew that there were natural pathways in our body that signal our cells. They tell them how to react and tell them when to go to work. When they are active, everything works just fine. But as we get older or injured, some of these pathways stop working and even go to sleep, causing us big problems. This was the science that saved me. It took many years in my case to get better, and I've learned a lot along the way. Now, after a few years of biohacking, life sure changed. For Penny, who suffered 40 years with crippling rheumatoid arthritis, taking lots of daily medication, it meant a huge change to a new, pain-free and medication-free life. My life changed as well. Before, I was unable to even tie my shoes without running out of breath. Now I've gone years without getting a flu or cold. I was even able to breathe well enough to renovate an old church myself that we now call home. So by 2017, Penny and I decided to take a 6-week trip to India and Kathmandu, Nepal. We would visit friends, explore, and enjoy it all with a new view on life. How much of a change happened? Well, we were staying at the beautiful 15th century Neemrana Fort in northwest India. Behind the fort was a mountain that if you climbed to the top, you could get back down via 5 zip lines. How cool is that? But not possible for a guy with a chronic lung disease and my wife with lifelong arthritis, both in her 60s. But wait a minute. Things had changed, so why not? Well, we did that long climb and navigated all 5 zip lines with ease. We will never forget that feeling of flying through the air. The freedom was intoxicating. Biohacking and this new viewpoint literally gave us back our lives. So, back to 2021. The world has changed forever. And I've realized that what I've learned and experienced now must be shared.
Falling through the wicked realms of time, and I'm calling